She turned, I think, $20 to 26,000. I understood that I had an edge on the market, but I still wasn't profitable. And then that's when I started learning that having an edge wasn't enough. An edge is simply just saying June was my last time working. July was my first month where no 9 to 5, no
Oh
corporate
no.
work. I think a lot of traders look at
What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel, and you're gonna want to watch this video all the way to the end because we got a special individual in the building today. His name is Isaac Gbolabo, and he is a consistently profitable trader. He's been able to make thousands of dollars in the markets this year, which resulted in him leaving his 9 to 5 job and being a full-time trader. You're not gonna want to miss nothing in this video. So watch the video all the way to the end and stay tuned for more. Let's go. So we got the one and only Isaac Gbolabo and back on the channel, and he had to drop some game, drop some advice, and just give y'all his life experiences with y'all. Welcome, Isaac.
yeah, I appreciate you having me.
So, Isaac, before we jump into the topic, man, tell me, how was your week? Because for me, it wasn't all that good. But tell me, how was your week this week trading? Matter of fact, how was your month trading?
Yeah, the month's been pretty good actually. October was a great month, but last week specifically, very boring. I didn't get my first trade in till I think it was Wednesday. No, it was Thursday. Got a win that Thursday, but then on Friday took a loss. Still ended the week profitable, but very slow.
Yeah, see, like it's so crazy from like trader to trader. When you ask one trader, their week is amazing. You ask another trader, their week
Yeah,
is
yeah.
terrible. Like it wasn't the best week for me, but wins, loses, draws. But in the long term, I'm a consistently profitable trader. So with that being said, Isaac, what introduce yourself? Like who is Isaac Blabo?
Yeah, I, of course, from Dallas, 25 years old. Been doing this cola trading thing since 2020, around COVID time. So I was part of one of those COVID traders that tried to pick up the skills when we were all at home, and here we are today.
IML, you did you join up IML?
So actually, funny thing about IML, about 2017, I was in high school. There's people at my school who are doing IML. So I was trying to get into trading back then, but every time I would ask somebody before I would buy anything, they kept trying to tell me to focus on recruiting.
Yeah, recruiting, right?
I don't want to do that. Like the reason I want
Right,
to
right.
trade is because I don't like going places and need to talk to somebody and need to convince somebody of something. Like I just want me and my mind to dictate how much I make. So
Right. That was the same thing for me. I think I joined up IML the very first. It was probably like 2 3 days in. I joined one of their meeting. They just kept talking about recruiting and recruiting. I'm like, all right, so when we gonna talk about trading? And that asked the person that was leading the meeting, how much money do you make in trading? He said, it doesn't matter about how much money you make. It's just we all trying to grow together. I'm like, that in that same week, I left it, got my refund. I was done with that. I didn't even spend a lot of time in that. But with that being said, you know that the market is pretty shaky with people, that trade, quote unquote trade, or influencers in the market. I'm not trying to throw shots at anybody. Just if a few fits, it fits. But what drew you into it? Was it the lifestyle? Was it people who you knew? Like what drew you into trading?
it was a mixture of a couple things. So when IML was the thing, I of course always was interested in trading after that. It was something that I believed in, even though I didn't want to do IML, but I did believe that these ultra rich people were on the stock market or the foreign exchange market, futures market, whatever it was. But what really kind of let me take that first leap is somebody from my neighborhood where I grew up at. She actually
Mm,
became a very big trading influencer, and she had a story about how she turned, I think, $20 to 26,000.
wow.
Believe it or not, I don't really know, but that story alone is what allowed me to be like, okay, wait, if she can do it, and she was about 2 years younger than me, why can't I do it? And then since then, I was like, I'm going to be a trader.
What year was that exactly?
This was 2020.
So 2020, you seen a girl take 26 20. How do you do that? I know flipping culture was a real thing back then. It's probably still a real thing now. It's just not as known as like prop firm trading, but wow, that is amazing. So do you still keep up with this trader?
Yeah, so I don't keep up with this trader much anymore. In hindsight, I kind of believe some of that was to do with luck because there were some earning plays involved. But I was more so focused on the possibility. You know, whether it was lucky or not, the fact that it's possible for this to happen, I figured that I could obtain a skill so strongly that I can do this on purpose.
Okay, okay. So how long have you been consistently trading? Because I know, like, even myself, I would say I knew about trading for 10 years, but consistently I've been like consistently trading for like 5 years. So how long were you actually consistently trading by yourself? Or just give me your
Yeah,
timeline.
so yeah, no. So as soon as I started, actually, it's something I don't recommend to people that I teach now. But as soon as I started a live account, put money in there, and started trading. And I woke up pretty much maybe not every morning, but every week within at least 3 mornings where I woken up and decided to trade. Now the first 2 years, I was all about trying to get call outs. I was copy trading other people's signals. But after that, I started to understand that I needed to learn for myself. But I never actually took a break from trading since I picked it up.
So the first 2 years you was copy trading. Was it working or was it?
Nah, I lost every single dollar I had.
Ah,
Don't recommend.
all right, that was that. That's a tough start. That's a tough start. I mean, I feel like any trader who becomes a profitable trader in the long run has to go through a phase where you're just losing a lot of money. It sucks that you had to lose a lot of money on someone else's dime, but either way, you're gonna lose the money regardless. So, did you say? Would you
Yeah.
think that you would you say you had your aha moment after your two years, or was it like in the after 2 years part where you started trading on your own, that you developed your own strategy, and then you got your aha moment?
So the funny part about aha, I don't think I've ever actually just had an aha moment since I've traded. I think every time I've traded, every week, every month, I've learned and understood things a little bit more, and then it all just came together at some point. But the first 2 years, I guess the aha moment you could say was I understood that I wasn't gonna just get the answers. I had to go actually, study and learn the charts. The first 2 years, I did not look at one educational piece of information at
Mm,
all. My learning didn't even start till year two, or after year two was over, going into year three is when that learning started. And then from there was several moments where I was like, okay, I can't risk, I can't full port my accounts. I can't do this. I need to do this. All these other little things that were happening that collectively made one big aha moment, I would say.
so what would you say? So let's just exclude the first 2 years, because that wasn't when you actually were on your own. After the first 2 years, like 3 years ago, how when did you say you think you became like that profitable, consistently profitable trader, or when did you find that you had an edge in the market that you can be profitable on week to week, month to month?
Yeah. So within from learning, honestly, within like my first 6 months, I understood that I had an edge on the market, but I still wasn't profitable. And then that's when I started learning that having an edge wasn't enough. An edge is simply just saying the market tends to do this sometimes. Not every time, not all
Right.
day, not every day, but sometimes this happens. The edge really came, I would say, another 6 months, so about a year into the actual learning process, where I started
Hmm.
making profits, getting payouts. Once I realized that I needed an edge plus a plan that fit my edge. So
Mm.
that is when I started a year in from actually taking the education part seriously is when I started to consistently see those small withdrawals here, small profit firm wins, things like that.
Okay, so it took like a year for you to hone in not on just the strategy, because I think the edge is like the strategy, and then you have to own in on the psychological part. But what would you say was the hardest part for you psychologically to overcome to get to that, starting to consistently see those small little gains? Because everybody goes through something.
Yeah, for me, it was my losing days were too big. I was always
Mm,
focused on winning. At least I won 3 days out of the five, and I lost two. The 2 days I lost would end up be me blowing my accounts, and simply it was just me not having proper risk management or me not knowing when to take a L and just say, "Listen, dog, it's not happening today. Let's try again tomorrow." So yeah, definitely trying not to over leverage on each trade or revenge trade, things like that.
So how did you come to that realization? Because I came to that a similar realization through using my journaling and stuff like that. Do you journal? Was Is that something that you incorporated within the year of you learning your edge and becoming a consistently profitable trader, or you don't think it's useful?
No, journaling is very useful. And actually, if I would have journaled from the beginning, I would have been profitable way faster. But when I would journal, what I did personally to help me realize some mistakes I was making is I would have a set of rules, I would have my plan, and in my journal, it wasn't I took this trade, I won, I took this trade, I lost. It was did I enter the market earlier than I said I was supposed to? Did I enter the market later than I was supposed to? And just making sure I was journaling me following my rules. Um, Once I saw that, I realized that Isaac, you like to trade 30 minutes earlier than you should when you think the market looks good, and you always get got on that. Or Isaac, every time you trade after 11 o'clock, you lose, so you need to stop trading after 11. And journaling, that's how it helped me in a way. But yeah, no, journaling, every trader needs to do that. You don't journal. I'm not saying you can't be profitable if you don't journal, but you're making it 10 times harder for yourself.
That is I would definitely agree with. Journaling would be the thing that will upgrade you. It will take you to that next level because you start to realize the mistakes that you make on a day-to-day basis, because we usually forget things. Like if you ask me, or if I ask you, what did you eat 2 months ago on a Tuesday, the first week on a Tuesday, you might not remember. But if you journal and you're able to go back and review a journal, you get to see the things that you did on a day-to-day basis, to learn from that and keep growing and not make those same mistakes. Or you get to see what things that you are actually getting better on, and what's working and what's changing in the markets, because the markets is always changing. So it's all about just like
That's
going
huge.
back and learning. What you saying?
That's huge. What you going back and looking at the journal. That's
Right,
another
right,
thing. You
right.
don't just journal and say, all right, write it down. Cool, I wrote it down today. A lot of people take journaling as a task, like they're doing
Yeah.
homework. It's like it's not homework. This is gonna help you. You have to go look back at it and say, okay, this is what happened. If anything, journal your week, and the very next week, just don't make those mistakes. You might make new mistakes that might come up, or you might make old mistakes that you made in the past. But for that next week, don't make any mistake you made the previous week, and just keep doing it.
But that's not to say that we're not human, because we're still human. We're gonna make mistakes, but it's like noticing the mistakes that you continuously make. That you remember when you say you're oversized and you're taking your losses are way bigger than your winners. It's like noticing the things that are really detrimental to what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, and stop doing those things. So what would you say separates you from other traders who don't like get to this point? Like what would you say that made you get to this point that other traders are not doing?
I think a lot of traders look at life and their plans from a very short term perspective. I think a lot of traders come to the market and say, all right, in 2 months, I want to be here, I want to be there, which is cool, but I think we overestimate what we can do in a small amount of time, but underestimate what we can do maybe in a year or 2 year period. Right? If you come into the trading industry and say, listen, in 12 months, in a year, I want to get to this point, then in month one, when the things aren't working out, you're not giving up on yourself. You're not telling yourself it's not going to work, because mentally you understand that you have 11 more months. You're not even halfway through the amount of time you gave yourself to get to a certain goal. So if people just came to the industry, and the thing I think that separated me when I came to the industry is I understood that when I was younger, and God willing, I have time on my side. So there's no need for me to try to rush this whole entire trading process within a 2 3 month period, and just thug it out. I'll keep doing it and give myself a long term horizon for the big goals I do have.
That Hey, that's a fact right there. Because people, I won't even say people. I'm gonna say me, and I know other people have experienced it too. That's why I say people. But when I first came in, it was all about the quick wins. It was like seeing that person make $26 to 26,000. It's like, wow, all I gotta do is start with $10 and I could turn into XYZ in a month. And I can leave my job and I can do whatever I want to do and I live the life of my dreams. Sure, you could do that. Sure. But you don't get to that overnight, right? You don't get to those results just by putting up that money and thinking that you could do it and thinking on a short-term perspective. But with that being said, like you are now a consistently profitable trader, and I believe that you said you left your job a couple of months ago. When was it that you officially left your job?
Yeah, so June was my last time working. July was my first month where no 9 to 5, no
No,
corporate work.
first of all, let's get a round of applause for that, man. Listen, a lot of y'all back at home want to get to this point where you're able to walk away from your employment, your job, and you can start living life of your dreams, like the one that we're talking about right now. So tell me about it. Like walk me through that day, because everybody wants that day to happen. So now I know your story is something that you will never forget. So just walk me through that day.
Nah, it's actually funny because I envisioned that day like we all do, before it happened. And at first I was like, I'm gonna crash out, I'm gonna go out, let them know like, you not messed with me, I'm this, I'm that. But when that day came, I started to realize, and I also changed as a person during that time that, why burn bridges? Because I feel like I'm on my own. I feel like I'm accomplished. When me leave all that behind, that was kind of a childish mindset. But that day, I remember just going to work, and I was just happy. I was just talking to everybody. I was just smiling, and it was just like I was happy because one, I'm like, I'm probably never really gonna talk to these people again. I'm
Right.
never really gonna see them. That's kind of how it goes.
It's like your
But
last
then
day
just
of high
knowing,
school.
yeah, it just I started to reflect on the journey because before I got there, I was so eager about leaving. I was mad every day going to work. I was like, I shouldn't be here. I should be doing this. I should be doing that. And once I got to that point, I was like, this was actually a great experience. I was able to really grow, really push myself. I started off as a London trader, and I live in Dallas, so I had to be at work at 7:30 in the morning. It was an hour drive, so I had to leave by 6:30, 6:15. London, I'm trading that from 2 to 4 a.m. So if you do the math, it's hard getting sleep during those times. But doing that just showed me resilience. It showed me that I feel like I can do anything I put my mind to. I really put my mind to that. I was waking up at 2 in the morning, going to work at 6:30, and it was just like I don't know. It just showed me a different level that I can get to. So that day was just a great day for me, smiling, talking to everybody. Best part about it is I didn't tell anybody I was leaving.
Really?
I didn't tell anybody that it was my last
You
day.
didn't tell them that day, or you didn't tell them at all?
I ain't tell them at all. So
Mm.
actually, the way I left my laptop and all my equipment at my desk. The next
Mm.
Monday rolled didn't show up to work. I told him all my stuff was at the desk and just kind of let it be there. Um,
That
not
was
what I
it.
knew, but it was just the most freeing feeling because at first, you think about things like that. You're like, oh, should I put those 2 weeks in? What if it looks bad on my record? This, that, and the other. And it's like once you become a profitable trader, that corporate record doesn't matter. It just genuinely doesn't matter. Of course, you don't want to go out being just a negative person, but that has more to do with people's morals and characteristics of themselves. Um, but it was just the most freeing feeling in the world, man.
I believe you, bro. I believe you. We're all any trader that's in you're not there yet where like you're consistently making profits from the markets and making withdrawals from the markets, and realize this: profits ain't profits till it hit your bank account. So you can get whatever you want on your account. It could show you whatever you want on the screen. You can make $1 million on your computer screen. If it doesn't touch your bank account, it don't matter. So let's just start right there. It gotta hit your bank account first. Anyway, yeah, like with that being said, like you have now left the thing that holds what people think holds them back from living the life of their dreams, which we call like now freedom. So what does freedom look like for you now? Like you don't have 9 to 5 anymore. What is freedom to you?
Yeah, so for me, freedom is simply being able to show up to everything. And what I mean by everything, for example, my cousin, he has a basketball game, his second college basketball game here next Monday that I'm gonna go to. And the reason I'm able to go to it because I'm not sitting in traffic trying to, beat rush hour to make it all the way to where he's at. I'm able to leave at a decent time and be able to make it there on time because I have the freedom to do that. Or small things like going to see my niece on a Tuesday at 1 p.m. I feel like a lot of people, at least for me, when I was working, I always found it hard that because I was tired from working Monday through Friday, I would sacrifice being around people that actually meant a lot to me
Mm.
because I was too tired. Because I felt like I needed a break. And them too, they could be tired, they feel like they need a break. it actually causes us to
That's
spend more
deep.
time at a place that we don't want to be with people we might not even want to see, and we neglect the people we care about the most. So freedom for me was being able to, experience life with these people that I say I care about. I want to be able to actually show that.
That's deep, bro. That's deep to spend the time with the people that means the most to you, because we don't know when our last day is gonna be. So it's like we work every single day with the goal in mind of providing and helping the people that we love and giving them the life that they deserve, even of ourselves the life that we deserve. But
Yeah.
we often neglect
Luckily,
it. Go ahead, you were saying
so
so.
we do neglect it. Now, luckily for me, it's been a blessing in disguise as I've gotten older. But at a younger age, that's how a lot of people pass away. Like
Mm,
my mom had me at 40, so like my family, everybody is just older.
they're older.
Everybody,
Okay.
yeah, just always been older. So like grandparents, I haven't had those since high school, and aunts and uncles, they've all passed. And I come from a pretty big family as well. So my
Mm,
grandma had 24 siblings. Somebody's
mm,
always
passing away.
going. Somebody they all had
Yeah.
a lot of things going on. But at a young age, I think it allowed me to not really be caught up in what most people my age are caught up in. Now, I never was fond of trying to impress or be around people that I know we don't really care about each other. We're here for a good time. We're here because you're my party friend, things like that. And what that allowed me to do was actually lock in on things that I felt like mattered, which was being around people while I still can. And the only way I could do that was freeing myself of that 9 to 5 world to where now I have more hours in my day to spend with those people. So listening to the skies, I think that really shaped me to be who I am today, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and having and just knowing yourself, because even in trading, you just gotta know yourself. Like you remember when we was because we trade together in the morning sometimes, and you'd be like, you're holding your trades for like a 1 to 9, 1 to 7. I'm like, bro, I'm going for a 1 to 1, and I'm gone. And it's just me knowing myself, and that's you just knowing yourself. Like this works for you. You are able. You're patient. You can wait. Would you say you're a patient? You have to be a patient person to go for 1 to 7.
Yeah,
You have to be a patient person. So in just knowing yourself, how did you create your strategy to fit yourself? Like what kind of trader are you today? Are you a swing trader? Are you like a day trader? Or are you like a positions trader? What kind of trader are you?
yeah. So I'm an intraday trader, and I'm just basically finding daily key levels for major moves. I'm not looking to catch the minor moves in between with minor structure. I'm trying to follow the major structure. So I might only get 2 or 3 trades for that week, versus some traders are able to get one daily, 5 trades a week. But yeah. Now I come from the flip culture. 2020, the flip culture. I was once trying to flip. So when I started trading, my idea was, how can I take the smallest amount of money and make the most amount of money, and how can I be a good loser as well? See, I never
Mm,
chase win percentage. I never chase. I want a 70, 80% win rate. If I have a 30% win rate and can make money, I'm happy with that, because that means I'm able to fail more and still make money. I don't want to be
mm.
perfect.
People don't know that. So what is your strategy? Can you like high view? If you don't gotta go into detail, what is your high
So
view?
essentially, I think it's very simple. It's higher time frames, finding key levels where the market could possibly react from, and then going to lower time frames and just following trend and liquidity at those levels. So, for example, you have key level at the bottom, market's at the top. If the market hits my key level, and keep in mind these are like daily key levels, so these are pretty big momentum
Mm-hmm.
pushes. Scale down to my 15 5 minute time frame. Find the shift in trend in the market, and then just
Mm-hmm.
follow that up.
So would you say you don't you like what would I say, like a support and resistance kind of trader, or you take a little bit I because there's a lot of different strategies like ICT. Do you use indicators? Like what is it that you would
Yeah,
classify your trading strategy as a
I
retailer?
don't use any. Yeah,
Mm,
so I don't use indicators at all. I don't honestly know how ICT trades. There's some people within my community, they have told me that I have some ICT concepts within the way I trade, but I like to just say it's following trend. I'm using liquidity and ranges, trend, liquidity, and ranges. I'm just following the ranges.
I feel like
But I don't.
ICT is just
I've been through a couple courses, right? That's another thing too. People, they learn from one person, and because they don't make money, they think that that person can't trade. It's like, no, that person might have been placed in your life just to give you a different perspective. Like, I had one mentor who was placed in my life. I don't use his trading strategy at all, but
Mm-hmm.
he taught me the importance of discipline, the importance of
Mm,
not going to win every trade. And then another trader taught me the importance of liquidity, and somebody else taught me ranges. So I kind of pieced a lot of things together and made things that work for myself. But it's I, I'm gonna be honest. I've never seen anybody use my exact strategy, but I've seen parts of my strategy in multiple people's strategy.
I feel like no one, everybody's strategy is different. Because me and you can look at the markets and we'll see something different, even though it's the same thing. Like, it doesn't have to be pinpoint the same exact strategy. Even if me and you take the same trade, you're in buys and I'm in buys. You might get in buys a little earlier than I do because you've seen something that I didn't do, or your execute, not even your execution, maybe something indicated for you to get in sooner than I was indicated to get in. So I would think everybody's strategy is a little bit different. Like no one strategy fits all. So with that being said, like ICT is like, I think it's like a repackaging of many different other concepts because he has like a million different strategies, but it falls within everything. I see it in support and resistance. I see it in everything really. It's just a repackaging. So I think anybody's strategy can work. Every strategy works. It's just, can you make it work for yourself? Can you do the right things to make it work for yourself in the long term? Yeah. It's not the easiest thing to do because it takes a lot of getting to know yourself, like we just discussed. You got to know yourself. Are you a scalper? Are you an intraday trader? You're a swing trader? Do you have patience? Do you like to rush? Are you greedy? Are you like, do you have FOMO? Like all that stuff. What would you say was your biggest struggle? Like the biggest struggle you overcame? Maybe it was a losing streak, like your biggest loss, and you had to probably take a week off, or like what was your biggest struggle?
Biggest struggle? It's a good question.
In trading, obviously.
Yeah,
It could be
the
outside
grind.
of trading that affected trading too, like the loss of someone in your family that affected your trading as well.
It's actually funny because like you're outside of trading is your trading.
Right,
So
right, right.
what's going
People
on
don't know this.
outside is going to show inside. And with trading, and with me, one thing that I struggle with most,
Ooh.
that actually a lot of parts of my life, um, was doing the work. And it sounds crazy, but like when I, like I said, I spent 2 years wasting my time just trying to copy trade because I didn't want to do the work. And I think what it was is I was naturally smart in school. I wasn't your 4.0 genius kid, but I could pass the test. I could pass the class. I played basketball. I was naturally good at basketball. Like I didn't go to any training, but I'm still able to play for some pretty elite teams, play with some pretty high profile players that are in the league now. And it was just all natural. So I never felt like I had to work for something. If I'm being pretty honest with you,
Mm. So would
trading
you
was
say
the
you were
first thing that
just
made me
naturally gifted in
and
almost everything?
no, I honestly
Everything you
did not know
did,
how to
everything you did.
work hard.
Okay, okay.
I didn't know how to work hard with trading. Like that was the number one problem. Like, how do you work hard? And through time, of course, I was able to understand it, but nothing like trading I've ever experienced. Where I don't know, just playing
People gonna
basketball
hate
outside
this,
in the
bro.
neighborhood.
This is controversial. You gonna hate this. We'll continue.
Now playing outside in the neighborhood, like eventually you're gonna get better. You're just gonna keep playing with everybody. You gonna end up being good at basketball, or football, whatever sport you want to play. School, for me, it was kind of common sense. Um, and it wasn't like I got straight A's on the test. I might give a 75 on that test, but I knew what I needed to pass. That's always what I was looking at. With trading, you have to go more than what's needed to pass. You have to truly understand what you're doing and working hard. That was my biggest struggle. When I look back at it, I wasn't working hard when I thought I was working hard. And now that I know what hard work looks like, I realized I wasn't working hard at all at the very beginning.
Mm. Okay, what was it? What was the struggle? The struggle was that you didn't have any hard things in life before that you felt like you had to do, and trading was the hardest thing that you had to do to this point.
Yeah, no, the struggle was I was working hard. Like once I started learning concepts, they weren't hard. I would say I struggled with the over risking. I would risk too much on trades. I was trying to get rich quick, but that was more so once I was aware that that didn't work, and I was made aware by somebody who was profitable, so it just stuck with me more. Then I started to change things that I was doing myself, and then I saw that, oh wait, risking like this does work better. But even that, once I understood it, nothing was hard to do. It was just about working for it. I didn't want to
Right.
work for it. I want things handed to me. I think that's how a lot of people our age
Mm,
are in generation. We see quick money. We grew up on the cell phone era, TikTok, Instagram, so everything's so fast.
instant
I, I
gratification.
I just didn't know how to work hard. Yeah, I didn't know how to work hard. That's just really what it was.
Well, I think a lot of people can resonate with that because instant gratification is in everything that we do. It's on our phone. If we want a little dopamine hit just to feel happy a little bit, just go on Instagram, scroll a little bit. You see a cat video that make you laugh. You see somebody fall. You see something crazy. Something. If you want something quick, you can do it within this generation. You want anything. You want to learn anything. You could just Google it real quick and it'll just pull up into your phone. You can just read it. Like everything is fast now. In this day and age, we don't have hard work as something that we do in a long term view to get to where we want to be. We want it right now. We need it right now. We see 20, but the thing is, we do see 20-year-olds, 19-year-olds, 18 years. I even seen a 17-year-old freaking multi-millionaire. He was like but he was like in AI or something like that. But it's like, when you look at something like that, it's like, damn, he did it at 17, bro. Like, he didn't even reach nowhere. He didn't even
It's hard.
graduate high school yet. Like, I want it fast. I want it now. You know what I mean? So,
It's hard to see that. I think we're the first generation that had to, or this internet generation that we grew up on. We're the first one that had to deal with that in the sense of my mom, right? She's from Chicago. Her neighborhood, the people she knew was the people that was in her neighborhood. I know people now who live in other countries simply because we had something
yeah.
called the internet. She was born in 1960. She didn't have the internet. She didn't have all those things. So her comparison was the person she was next to. And I
Right.
think it's a blessing because it allows us to dream bigger than just our community. But at the same time, now we're comparing ourselves to people who are on chapter 10. We don't know what they went through in their life to get to
True.
chapter 10 yet. But we're comparing it because we see it on the screen. We're just looking at ages and numbers. But at the end of the day, you can be on chapter 5 at age 30, and somebody at age 26 can be on chapter 10. So it's never an age thing. It's more so about what have you went through to get to where you're at.
Right. And sometimes it's like, it's a little bit of luck that's involved in it. Sometimes it's just like, it was just their time. They was in the right place, right time. Maybe they was just around the right people. It's like, sometimes you just can't compare yourself to that person's chapter 10. Like, where they at in their life is a result of multiple factors that, you know we can't even see. We were comparing ourselves to somebody chapter 10, but we don't know what made their chapters, and how did they get through it, and what connected for them to get them to that point. So it's a lot of comparison games that goes on into trading. Even for myself, I remember when I was first started trading, there was a lot of comparisons. I seen like people like Lambo Raul, Q Banks, there's a whole bunch of different traders that's just huge in the niche. And I would see them drive Lambos, drive Raris, drive big cars, just doing whole grandiose things. And you're just like, dang, I want to do that. But you don't know what it took
No.
for them to get there, to make it to that point where they can now live that life. But, with that being said, we always look forward to the future and what we want for the future. What is something that you want in the future? Like, what is the next year look like for Isaac? What is the next 2 years, 5 years? What is your goals? What does it look like for you?
Yeah, so within next year, got a goal. Wanna be out of Dallas, get to Florida.
Get out of Dallas.
Not really sure. Florida, I say Miami just because that's where I've been the most in Florida, but I'm not even sure if I want to be out there in the mix for real. I
Right.
just want to be somewhere kind of more, Fort
Chill back,
Lauderdale,
lay back.
but just having that, and also within my community, I just want to see or verify that the skill that I've obtained of trading, I'm able to transfer that to other people. Because at the end of this, right, in 80 years, most likely I'm not going to be here.
Right.
Every dollar I made doesn't matter.
Don't matter.
Every house I bought don't
Don't matter.
matter. Car I had don't matter. But what will stick is the influence you leave on other people. So like
Impact.
just like when they get older, they have kids. They're like, yeah, I want my kids to be a better version of me. Yes, I don't have kids, but I feel like just within life, and I'm not sure, how spiritual people get, but God, I just feel like he called us out to help the next, not to just glorify what we have and the possessions that we got from this earthly life.
Mm,
So Now I just want to be able to make sure that I'm able to transfer my skills to other people as well, and then eventually, hopefully, people who look just like me and you, right?
Right.
It's called spade to spade. I want them to see bigger dreams and being, the best rapper out their neighborhood, or being, the number one draft pick from their neighborhood. Because just being honest, everybody can't rap.
It's rare. Very
And that
rare.
everybody's not gonna be 6'5".
Right.
Everybody's just not gonna get to 6'8". We're
Right.
not always gonna be built like that. So
That's a
it's
fact.
something that we have to be able to do in order to still be exactly who we want to be
Right.
financially and just to this world. And trading, I think, is the next big thing. Streaming is also big too. Streamers, that's a whole nother wave that going crazy side topic, but I think trading can also be one of those things for people who look just like you.
Yeah. So what you do? Were you interested in streaming?
I don't think I could do streaming.
Okay. Okay.
I respect it, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Okay. Okay. You just hit on a little topic that I was like, let me ask him about it. You just said God and like, you know, let's just say your beliefs in whoever you believe in, but the God that you believe in, how has that affected you or helped you through your journey to get to the level of consistent profitability to end up leaving your job and like starting to look forward to moving to Miami and being in the mix, who knows? But just living that life.
And one thing I will say, I'm 25, and I feel like a lot of people are my age have gone through this. In college, I was definitely struggling with the whole concept of God for sure. I think it was me finding myself.
True.
But one thing I noticed with trading, nothing went right until I surrendered. It was like, no, this God did this, not me. I was trying to control everything,
Mm,
and the market is a very uncontrollable place, as we know, right? You never know when you're going to win, you never know when you're going to lose. And I feel like God works similar to the market. Your plan that you have for what's going to happen might not be God's plan. And I'm sorry to tell you, but your plan is not going to overrule His plan. And it just got to that point where once I realized that I was getting closer and I was praying more and I was just considering the idea way more than I was in the past. A lot of things got better. A lot of things got easier, and I know where I had the lung capacity to keep going. There's so many times throughout the journey where if God didn't exist for me, I would have quit.
mm.
Like when you're losing, like, especially at that age, and you have none, it's hard to keep going and wake up the next morning with the possibility to lose some more. But with God, I don't know. It was so much easier. I can't explain it. You just have to experience it yourself.
Talk to him, man. Like having that faith in God and understanding that it's above you, like you can't control the speed at which you will get to where you want to, but if you trust in the higher source and God and you believe that He will help you get to it. And today may not be the day, tomorrow may not be the day, but one day is gonna be your day, and God's gonna make it happen for you. He's gonna help you get to it. All you gotta do is put the work in, But you do have to put the work in. You can't just
Yeah,
have
nah,
faith. You can't just have faith. Faith by itself does not work. You gotta work
yeah, now you can't
with the
I
faith.
do this and happy. You got to do something now.
You gotta do something. So, people at home, yes, God is real and you should believe in Him, but also do the work, do the journaling, do the back testing, do everything that you're supposed to get to where you want to be in life. But that being said,
That's
Isaac, it was a great. Talk to me. Say what you're saying.
okay. That's actually another topic. You said back testing. Back testing, I can't stress this enough. Back test with a plan in mind. Don't back test to see how many times you win, how many times you lose. Back test with the mindset of this is the time period I'm going to place a trade. So let's say it's between 8 to 10 a.m. Mark out those hours when you're back testing and find your move in that hour time frame or those 2 hour time frames. Because a lot of people, I think, they just go look for wins and losses, and when the market comes, they're everywhere because the trade that they like to win happens at 7 p.m. Right? But the whole time you're trying to make trades work at 8 o'clock, and it's like you're not being accurate with your back test. You have to back test for the purpose. See how many times your setup appears each week, how many times you expect to win each week. That way you have real data. And you
Mm.
only, like me, I only expect 2 to 3 wins a day or
A week.
a week.
Yeah.
Monday, if I get no trades, there's no need to panic.
Yeah,
I
you still
expect only
got other
two trades a
days.
week. You
Right.
have 4 more days.
Right.
You have to back test with a purpose in order to back test correctly. Don't just get on there and see how many times you can win, how many times you can lose. But
I
yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because back testing, people do it all types of wrong, in my opinion.
I feel like you do have to have that in like in the back of your mind. Still be trading with like how many days you win, how many days you lose, but you could it the point is to collect the data. Like if you see that you take maybe 2 to 3 wins a week, that's the important part. Like how many days a week do you lose? How many days a week do you win? What is like some things that you should look for? Can you get a 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1 out of your trades when you do win? And when you do lose, how fast is it? How quick is your winners? Like there's different data sets that you look, not just like I won today. That's it. Should be different data points that you should be tapping into. But I'm sure that with you have a community of your own, right? Isaac.
Yeah,
So,
I do.
what that means, like, how can the people reach out to you? How can they get to you? Because I'm sure people are motivated to just do the same thing you did. Being able to quit their job. You're 25 years old. I'm 28. I still have a job, which is fine with me. I know God is gonna get me, as we spoke about. God is gonna get me there one day, eventually. I'm doing the work every single day, so I'm gonna get to that point. But I know people out there is like, I'm gonna get to that point where I can say, I'm walking into this job and this is my last day here. I'm not coming back because I made it. I figured it out and I'm a consistently profitable trader. So how can they reach out to you if they want to get to you and tap into anything that you got going on?
Yeah, so my name is Isaac Trades on all platforms, but it's spelled I6, so ISICK and Trades TRADES. That's me on all platforms. The one that I think is most beneficial for traders who know a little something, or they might be at break even, or they might be losing money. The TikTok page. That one is more mental mindset things. I don't even just talk about trading. I just talk about the power of being consistent because that's the real thing, the power of being consistent. But yeah, you can find me on Instagram, TikTok at and I also have a free community as well for people to join. I also have a paid one for anybody who's looking to seriously, take that next step with trading. But yeah, Isaac Trades on all platforms. Link in the bio right there.
I'm gonna have Isaac's link to everything in the bio, as he just said. Everything will be there. Please get in touch with him. If you want to learn from him and just learn not just his strategy, but his mindset behind the way he is and how he get to where he's at. Because we're looking at his chapter 10 right now. But you want to learn his chapter 9, 8, 7, 6, etc., to get to the point where he's at right now. Everything's gonna be in the link in the description. Again, thank you, Isaac, for coming on the show today, and I appreciate you, my guy.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you having me.